start streaming. All right, that way you guys can see too, in theory. See if it's on my YouTube. I'll switch over to. And by the way, the idea for today's video was basically like thrown together. Well, obviously I'm still doing my Wednesday market roundup, but like I decided to do this idea kind of on the fly. So, bear with me here. I'm still working some of the ins and outs of it to get this going. So how's everybody's trading been going today? In the meantime,
Great day today.
Good,
Profitable.
profit. Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
I can see
Okay.
hear all these peeps and bings and everything with all the alerts going off of everybody.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we should probably as many people as we can probably like turn down the sound or whatever, and so we don't have feedback.
All my headphones.
Yeah, but no worries either way. Well, it won't be too crazy, I'm sure.
Alan, how old are you?
There's a way to only mute Discord sounds, right? With, like, I'm on my Windows.
Yeah, how do you
right
do that?
now. Oh, you right click on the volume bar in the bottom right, and then you click Mixer, and it'll bring up all your applications that you're on.
Oh, I'm on Mac.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm a Linux person actually. I only use PC just because I don't have a good video editing software on Linux. Oh, the struggle. But okay. So do you think this is gonna work out fine? I think it's working fine. The live is streaming good. Welcome everybody. This is today's Discord live stream. I've got a few people in the voice chat, and basically what we're doing is we're going to be going over some suggested coins and then kind of talking over like our ideas and thoughts on it. And yeah, I might be doing more of these down the road. I kind of thought of it like on the fly here, so we'll see how it goes. But let's get right into this. Our first request was Dogecoin, so I'm on coinigy.com. And
sorry to interrupt you, but how do we see your screen?
If you go to my live stream on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
No worries.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah. I decided to stream it on YouTube. And
Got ya.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
A lot of technology going on here.
All right, so looking at Dogecoin, this is everybody's favorite meme troll of the crypto world. This is a perfect example of the relationship between cryptocurrencies and the internet, in my opinion. That pretty well sums up Dogecoin. It looks like it's bottomed out pretty hard. It might actually come up on, it's got a rounded bottom formation. That, this chart pattern doesn't look bad actually. Yeah. It might not be the best coin in the world, but I don't hate the chart pattern. There's some volume. We've got this rounded bottom. I'll draw this real quick. I've seen the rounded bottom happened in Litecoin. I think Ethereum. It's been occurring quite a bit lately, I've noticed. These altcoins. Anybody have like any ideas on the reason that altcoins are so mathematical in the way that they make these moves? Is it just because there's not quite as much variables and because there's not as many people trading it? So it's not as much variable in emotion? Like, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. Because like stock markets, like, they're pretty mathematical, but like they don't move like crypto, really. But yeah, no, this is looking pretty good. It looks like it might be breaking out of a bottom formation here. So it's making higher highs and higher lows. If you want to trade this chart, I would look to enter at a higher low. Let's see, probably the best thing to do would be a fib retracement. That's honestly the majority of my trading these days is just either a fib retracement or yeah, just fib retracements and lines usually. I don't really use RSI too much or any indicators very much anymore. I've been getting better results just trading trends with Fibonacci. All right, so anybody have any questions on this chart?
Why didn't you take the fib up to the highest level?
The wick. So I've been experimenting with this recently. Basically, it's just to give me two ideas. So I'll look at both of them. Did you see how I put it at the highest level and I pulled it down?
Yeah.
I was looking at the difference between the bodies because I've been looking at Heiken Ashi candlesticks, and I've noticed that the bodies do reactions too with Heiken Ashi. And so it's just something I've been experimenting with a little bit to look at it just looks like the bodies of the candles, like the majority of the body of the candle is bouncing off this resistance, the majority of the body of the candle. So the idea behind it is to cut off the concept of the potential play in the market, right? So I can just get a more like logical, broad view of the retracement.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
it contains more bodies of the candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically it's some I've been experimenting with recently. So I wouldn't really say that like I would use it or anything too much in trading. Majority of it just go from top wick to bottom is what people do. Well, bottom wick to top, low to high. What do you do? Do you trade fib?
Yeah. Yeah, I go top to bottom. Sometimes very very rarely on the hourly, but yeah, the daily or the 4 hour.
Nice, nice. This kind of looks like the does anybody see the similarities to the way Ripple bottomed out? The wick isn't as big right here, but that looks pretty similar to the way Ripple bottomed out recently. All right, so requests. Let's go on to the next coin. How many? Okay.
You should look at what's happening with XBC right now.
Oh yeah, XBC. This is one I've been watching heavily. So something that I've been kind of like thinking about is the percentage of volume versus supply and demand. So I'll show you guys this little thing I've been working on recently. Basically, a lot of my trading is based on supply and demand, like the value of it. Because like if you look at XBC, there's only like 80,000 of them, right? But it's worth like $60, $70 or something like that. Let's check on CoinCap and see. It's worth like quite a bit of money, and it's because it's a low supply, and so if the volume goes up much, so volume meaning demand for the coin, then naturally the value is going to increase. Let's see here. So that's why, even though Ripple has $1 billion market cap, it's only worth 3 cents because there's 37 billion Ripple, right? So if you look at like Bitcoin, there's only 16 million of them, and it's $1,200, and the volume is the highest. So yeah, that's something that I like to use. So XBC, somebody pointed this out to me, I believe last night. Yeah, last night, neighborly from the Discord, shout out, pointed XBC out to me. And we were saying that it was going to go up, and sure enough, it's went in that direction. So that's good to see. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking this has a bull swing in the future. Um, it's already breaking out, and it looks like a pretty good chart to trade. Um, yeah, we've even got a few red candles for a possible entry here. It looks like it's just flipped around, right? That pattern just flipped right around here, and so that could be a pretty good entry point. There's a lot of support. This support is turned into support after resistance. Let's see if it holds this support. That's the goal here, is to see if this can hold as support, and we can keep having it going the way it is. But there's a pretty specific trend here. Oh no, it was Neighborly that actually pointed out to me Bitcoin Plus, but this one has a pretty similar chart pattern, and they seem to be correlated too because they were both getting pumped on the same day when there was a lot of speculation about Bitcoin Unlimited, and so yeah. But I still think this chart is going to keep going on this trend. We'll see if it can hold the support. Okay, suggestions. Is everything working good on the? Everything's working all right for you guys? Is this working good?
Yep. Cool.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so
Broken its resistance level, so it's if we get a full candle through this resistance, I think it could be a big shoot up.
on if we get a full candle through the resistance on
In
what
in Bitcoin Plus.
in Bitcoin Plus?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. This is XBC. I accidentally
Yes,
did
that is
XBC
Bitcoin
instead of
Plus.
Bitcoin Plus. I apologize for that.
It's the same.
Oh no, Bitcoin Plus. Okay. Yeah, I get Bitcoin Plus and Bitcoin Dark confused a lot. Bitcoin Dark was pointed out to me by Neighborly Smooth last night, and Bitcoin Plus, I think we were looking at both of them actually, but yeah, and Bitcoin Plus here is looking pretty good. So you think it's going to pump really hard if we can break the 618 fib?
No, I'm looking on like much shorter term, like
Oh, shorter
if
term
we go
time
down
frame.
to 5 minutes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Really, really interesting.
Anybody that wants to join the Discord, I'll go ahead and I'll drop this invite link into the YouTube real quick here too. Um, this actually worked out like pretty good. I mean, I thought it would be a little bit more complicated to have a live stream and and a live a voice chat at the same time. But that's why I wanted to make it so we did the introductions at the start, because I wanted to make sure the personal information and stuff was was private. Okay, so let's look at this low. Or you're looking at 5 minutes. So are you on
Yeah,
YouTube? Can you see
yeah,
my
yeah,
live stream? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That does look pretty good. Oh, too bad I don't have an entry like right here, huh? Or maybe even right here. But no, yeah, that does look pretty good. It looks like it's just about to break through that right now. Second time it's came to test this resistance after falling and onto support. It bounced off support pretty nicely, and it also double bottomed a little bit right here. So that does look like it could do a nice move on the upside. So yeah, you guys keep your eyes on XBC. Um, look for a good entry, but that looks like it's on an upswing. All right. Um, Not quite that drastic. um, let's see here. Other suggestions? Oh, Bitcoin Plus. I kind of wanted to point that, or Bitcoin Dark, I mean. Bitcoin Dark, because this is honestly like, I entered last night right here, and I feel like this is going to be a good move. I'll show you some things I'm looking at. Um, that little sound effect I make all the time on accident. Uh, it's a habit, so I'm sorry about that one. But oh, here's another one of those rounded bottoms. Those are coming up a lot, like I was saying. These nice arced rounded bottoms, like that. That that's really cool to see. Okay, now, yeah. So basically, what I'm looking at in this coin is I noticed a recent pretty gnarly pump on the upside during that whole speculation over Bitcoin Unlimited. And so I decided to wait for it to kind of dump off, because I know that those huge initial pumps like this always have next to equal pullbacks, you know, because most of the money comes in and then gets out by here. And so only a little bit of the money is left in the actual capitalization in the market. And so, let's see. Also, if you guys want me to check anything in the YouTube live chat channel thing, I need more screens. I need to
Yeah.
get more screens really bad. But thanks to the VIPs, I have a little bit of funds that I can start investing in some more things for to make this a little more optimal for us. But yeah, no, basically what I'm looking at here is I see a pretty nice trend here. It did fall from the initial arc trend here, but I've noticed in a lot of these coins that have these pump and dumps, if they do continue to consistently have volume, right now we're starting to pick up a little bit, and if the volume continues to pick up, this could definitely come swing up to the 786 or the 618. So I bought in, and we'll see where it goes. I have like a I think I have a 3 to 8 ratio on this one. I'd have to go look at my trading plan, but yeah, so that's my Bitcoin dark position right now. Okay, come check the other screen. Also, if you guys need to like ask me something, do at high altitude INV in both the YouTube channel and the YouTube channel and the Discord. All right. What do I think about Litecoin? Good question. Litecoin has been a wild ride. There's been a lot of fundamentals kind of throwing everybody off with that one. Definitely. I bought the majority of my Litecoin was an entry. Trying to remember exactly. Let me check on my Poloniex here. The majority of my Litecoin was bought at an entry. I believe I bought it in like 752, but I wanted to double check real quick. Right after this initial pump, and I was like, okay, there's going to be a second wave, and I could at least for sure sell out in some expected profits. But this one I did have to sell out a little bit early due to some breakage of my personal trading plan. Don't do it, but I still came out in profit. So I'm not too mad at myself, but don't break your trading plan. Plan the trade and trade the plan. That's what they tell people. So yeah, no, Litecoin broke out of this bottom nicely, and we have kind of screwed this current trend line, fell out, and so we are on a small bear move here. I don't know exactly where this bear move will stop, but I will say that Fibonacci is a pretty good way to get a good idea. I wouldn't be surprised if we come to the 618 on this one, but I still think that it will go quite high because it's been downtrending a long time. This is a very clear breakout of a bottom, and we have good volume. So I think that like longer term speak, yeah, I think it's a pretty good buy. But as far as like an entry point, I wouldn't be surprised if like 618. So what do you think about alt pullback?
I have a quick question. Can I ask?
Yep, go for it.
What do you think about possibly a pullback in altcoins coming in the next couple of months? Because it does seem that a lot of coins have gone up a lot. Do you think there's going to be some kind of yeah?
Yes, yes, I really do. Because
that's something that I think a lot of people that are probably getting into it now, all I can think of is that lots of people buying into stuff and then holding it, and then at some point it's all going to come down and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, definitely. I know. See, the thing is people don't realize how much it's correlated to Bitcoin because Bitcoin's the gateway into crypto. And so if you want to like be realistic, altcoins have been downtrending for a long time overall, and it's only been recently that we've been seeing like some nice plays in them. You know, like Ethereum, you know, did its thing, broke up to $7.50, and I was just like, whoa, because I remember watching it like just under $1 on Poloniex, and like, so to see that type of a movement, yes, I definitely think it's a possibility, especially if Bitcoin can break through its resistance, because Bitcoin has a lot of people interested in it. There's scaling issues, yes, but what matters at the end of the day, in my opinion, is where people put their money. And right now, 66% is still in Bitcoin. And considering the fact that there's 703 currencies and 91 assets to put money into, and Bitcoin is still the one that 66% trust the most.
Yeah, but if you look at the graph, it is pretty down.
Yeah, there is a clear trend. There's a clear trend. Good thing you pointed that out, because in my opinion, it looks like we are in for, you know, if this holds true, every time the Bitcoin percentage drops to a low like this, we have pullbacks and the pull ups, you know, in the percentage here. So it pulls up from here is the 79 up to the 88. So we are in a downtrend, but you know, we could expect a pull up in Bitcoin percentage again. It's clearly making lower lows and lower highs.
I was here during in 2013 when it went up massively, and I kind of left shortly after that. I never really invested much in it anyway, and then I came back to it, and it's kind of quite funny that I feel that I've kind of come back to the same situation where with Bitcoin it went up, you know, massively in a very short amount of time, and then I've come back now with alts, you know, going up massively. And I kind of feel like the same thing's going to happen again, where at some point a lot of people are going to realize that, okay, the alts are a really important part of the entire project, but are they really worth this much? And, you know, it's the same thing that goes on all the time, you know, where things get overvalued and they come back down. But what would you say are the currencies, altcoins, that are least likely to suffer from maybe a correction in the altcoin, you know, in altcoins in general? What are the safest coins, would you say?
For like long term, just like security for that, I hold in XMR, Ethereum. I don't hold Ripple because I do think it's going to be successful, and I will trade it, but I don't hold it long term. Though basically the rule of thumb that I generally use is community. Like, as long as there's a really good community behind it and they have a business plan and investors are putting money into it, like Ethereum, how there's big names just flooding money into the Ethereum ecosystem, investing in projects and ideas. It really, at the end of the day, where is the money going? That is the question, in my opinion. And if the money is predominantly going into these bigger ones like Ethereum and Monero and these projects that have quite a bit. Well, Monero doesn't have quite a big of a business infrastructure. So, you know, Ethereum has a pretty big business infrastructure. It'll probably be all right, although they are very correlated in value. So it could pull off pretty hard too. The best bet, in my opinion, is probably to go with alts that haven't been doing a lot of pumping yet, and that have good, you know, that are still good altcoins. You know, you can look at them, and if they, how do I explain this?
Is that
I need to
Dogecoin?
think about this. Yeah. Well, I mean, even see, here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you can trade Dogecoin for profit, who cares if it's shit, right? So, I mean, yes, from a philosophical standpoint, I want these to be good and very, very useful technologies that are successful. But from a profitable like trader standpoint, you have to understand that like percentage change is what matters, right? So like if you're trading for profit, percentage change is what matters. And so that's how I look at it. You know, safe coins during the alt rally. I mean, a Bitcoin rally. Honestly, my thing that I do to protect myself from these types of moves and swings is I keep 70% of my holdings in Bitcoin no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and I think that that's in some ways like to a lot of people, you know, who are new. I think there's quite a few people that are coming into the entire scene in general, and obviously there's a lot of people who will be trying to get as much as they can, and I do think that it's going to be a swing back in the other direction, because if you look at that graph, it always goes down and it will come back up again, and Bitcoin will, you know, end up being in the same situation it was, you know, in like a year ago when it started, you know, where we started seeing pretty decent gains over time, and just to say to people that it's worth making the profit out of it, but always keep some Bitcoin, because you never know, it could switch the other way really quickly.
Yep. Like I said, where's the money going? If 66% believe that Bitcoin, even though right now altcoins are really high, so 66% means a lot of people are starting to think about altcoins, but that's going to change real quick if Bitcoin just destroys their value. And it can really quickly. And I think it will. It's an interesting chart but so I want people to be prepared for that, you know? And so that's why I tell people, you know, I tell people if they ask me, I hold 70% in Bitcoin no matter what across all of my holdings. I don't even use banks. I use $5, like I keep like $5 in my bank account, right? I keep 70% of my wealth in Bitcoin, you know, minus assets. But so that's how I look at it. I look at this. This is really, really interesting to me. So the combined market capitalization looks like it's about to take off to it, like, you know, it looks like it's about to pump to a parabolic
It's going exponential.
point. Yeah, it's going exponential. It could go parabolic soon, kind of like it did back here, where it kind of came parabolic.
I'm seeing lots of things that are about blockchain, and I just think that it's one of those things that really, like within 2013 with the first Bitcoin pump, I think that people knew about it, but I think as of recently, people see the need for it. They see the need for something different to come up, and I think that's why crypto is getting a lot of attention, not just the currency side of it, but the actual technology of blockchain. And I think that's why we're going to see an exponential growth in it, because as more and more people understand what it is, the more and more people.
Yeah, well, it's like the internet, right? It's like as important as the internet.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was just saying is that in real estate, I'm invested in a lot of real estate investment trusts, and just one trust that I'm invested in has $30 billion of assets in it, and there's dozens of trusts, and like people see $30 billion in a market cap, and they're like, oh my god, it's huge. You know, it's not a number we can comprehend, but like if you look at the market cap of like literally
yeah,
it's nothing.
It will be
yeah,
$1
like
trillion
if you think,
easily. It will go to $1 trillion. It has to. And more
oh
than
yeah,
that.
yep, I completely agree. I mean, I don't know what the exact calculations were, but I've heard that like you know, even if it captures like 10% of the forex market, Bitcoin could hit $1 million. That's what I mean, I don't know exact. I've never done the calculation out myself, but it was from a credible source. It was like um trying to remember source. I'll see if I can find the source for that. It was like, you know, like a businessman on YouTube. So it wasn't probably the best credible source. But the point is that like you look at Amazon stock and that's just like one company, right? And they have like 600 billion or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but hundreds of billions of dollars into it. And think of how many people need this technology. Third world countries need it. Like a lot of people need this technology. If you look at who has access to the internet, which is really important to the price of Bitcoin, I've realized, because obviously the internet's where Bitcoin happens, but and everything cool. But if you go to internetlivestats.com, you can see a live number of the people joining the internet right now. And if Bitcoin and our, you know, fiat currency is terrible, we all already realize that. That's why we're here in a Bitcoin chat group, is because we know that fiat currency has corruptions, it's centralized, and there's a better way, right? And so as long as people keep getting access to the internet, and because the internet is such a great place to share cool stuff, it's only a matter of time before the exponential growth just takes over these markets, and we'll have trillions of dollars in these market capitalizations. But what I was pointing out here is it looks like, see, this is, as you can see, this mainly looks like the Bitcoin chart. Ethereum is kind of influencing this market capitalization here, but it's not influencing it near as much as Bitcoin. Now look at the altcoin chart. Doesn't that look like it's kind of scary, the altcoin capitalization?
Yeah.
It looks like it's pretty scary. Like, you know,
Looks like a bubble.
Yeah, it does look like a bubble, and it looks like a
Bitcoin
bubble that will
2030.
catch support and keep going up, but it looks like a bubble that's gonna pull back. It's gonna keep going up, you know, somewhere. Like after maybe it drops down to 6 billion or 5 billion in a market cap, altcoins. But I think it will keep going up. But Bitcoin will cause, in my opinion, Bitcoin will cause a huge kind of bloodbath in altcoins soon.
We
I mean,
had Vinny Lingham, who's a pretty. I mean, last year he said Bitcoin would be at $1,000. He was pretty much right on with that. He said it would be around about $2,000 or $3,000 at the end of the year. So I do think that at some point something's going to happen with Bitcoin, and yeah, I think the minute that happens, the minute something happens with Bitcoin that looks good, it's going to cause a lot of people holding alts to, you know, some of them are going to go over, and it's that avalanche effect of when Bitcoin starts looking good again, that's when everyone starts going back, because that's what people want.
Yep. People like something that works. It has its problems. You could call it a dinosaur, but like, you know, it's just a protocol, and it can be programmed and updated, and you know, as long as everybody wants that to happen, why wouldn't it, right? As long as everybody wants Bitcoin to be good, Bitcoin will be good. It is good. It's amazing. Really, it's incredible. It has things that can be fixed, but what it's done is incredible.
Well, that's it. It's stable. It's stable, and I think a lot of people. I think the altcoins are really good for kind of testing and new ideas, and I think that's what a lot of them are coming up with. But I think that people are going to realize that, you know, altcoins can't be as stable because they are experimenting a lot, and that's the thing. They may be going up now, but they are experimenting, and just wait until we see some altcoins that have some issues that don't work very well. The whole image of what people have of altcoins at the moment is going to be tested, and I think that's either way. Bitcoin's either going to do well or the altcoins are going to do badly, and that's when everything's going to flip again. And I expect a decent rise in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm on board with that too, because I've been basically preaching Bitcoin from the beginning of this channel. Like, I've always said Bitcoin is. I mean, there are some times when obviously I felt like altcoins might kind of destroy Bitcoin price, but that's natural. I've always felt like Bitcoin is the go-to, and I think the majority does, and that's what's really going to matter when there is a huge capitalization thing where market caps are just money's going everywhere from Ethereum to Dash. Nobody knows what to do with it. They're all going to put it back into Bitcoin, right? If
We've also got the
wants...
decentralized exchanges that make it easier for things to move around. I mean, what's going to happen then when you start having many different decentralized exchanges and things can happen so quickly on the network? I mean, you're looking at transactions that are quicker than
like
anything we have currently. How are markets going to change in general when all of that technology hits?
It's going to solve a lot of problems, and like even just like stocks. Like, isn't it dumb that the stock market closes?
Yeah, basically.
Like, like we could have stocks. I think there's going to be a decentralized exchange. I don't know what it is, where, if it exists yet, or if somebody's making it right now, probably.
Well, you got to wait.
I think there's going to be a decentralized exchange that attaches, assets, stocks, information, maybe even files at some point. Just all exchange of files, data, information, and value. Everything that's,
It's the real web.
Yeah, it would be a decentralized database of everything internet, fixed edition.
Well, that's the thing. I think with the internet, we're seeing more and more things decentralized. Before you had to go and get your local newspaper, whereas now you just go online and everyone can access the same stuff equally. And the idea that everything else is going to go along that same path is just completely logical. I think anyone who's listening now will know that that's just the way things are going. That's the general trend with the internet. And really, we're only just we're like 0.1% into the entire lot, and there's a lot more change to come. And I think it's really going to, a lot of people who don't know anything about crypto are going to be pretty taken aback when they see what kind of things are going to happen over the next just even 10 years.
Yep, I agree. It's going to change the way we look at basically everything. I mean, isn't it dumb that, like, if you're recording a video or you're drawing something on your computer, why can't that data be copyrighted instantly? There's no reason. If we all had a decentralized database, why couldn't we just live copyright stuff that, like, an artist, or like you could have files, only permissions for certain people for files, right? Right now, like the music industry, there's a lot of piracy, and who really cares, but there is a lot of piracy. It does affect some people in a negative way. It does,
Well, yeah, I know someone
who's against the wild west of files, but I know that it does affect people. And if you could put a blockchain could make it so you could put it so that only this person has access to that file if we're all connected to the same blockchain. If we all connected to a database of something like that, we could do checkbacks of copywriting, ideas, files, all kinds of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I think also along with that, you won't need as much laws on that stuff, because I think you'd be able to take, when it comes to microtransactions and things like that, people will be able to give very small amounts of money in exchange, and it will be much easier to pay for things, because I think there is a big barrier. You have to have a debit card or something, and it has to go on this thing and that thing. in order to use the internet, and a lot of people use the internet to make money. And when you have it in something like a cryptocurrency, I think it's much easier and much just it seems easier and nicer to give a small amount of money to someone that you know it's going to get there. You're not having to go through this whole service, and there's a lot less middleman, and you end up actually being able to give to projects and things that you like in an easier way. And it's totally running alongside a lot of the way things are set up already. And you just see, the BAT token with the decentralized kind of advertising. I think that's where things are going to go with the internet. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, man, me too. Yeah, no, it's definitely cool stuff. I'm very passionate about it. Since I found Bitcoin, it's changed my life. And then recording YouTube videos every day even changed my life more. Because then I attached my passion to something that was tangible. Because trading and stuff is tangible, but like if you attach your passion to something where you do it, you could trade every day. That was my initial passion. But when I started making videos every day and helping people make money, that's when I really fell in love with it. You know what I mean?
And you're really good at it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Really. Okay. Well, this live stream is scheduled to end at 2, so we're gonna go over a couple coins. Thank you guys for the input. Thanks, Inside 20. What's your real name, by the way, if you don't mind?
It's Ollie.
You can go by alias if you like, though.
No, my name's Ollie.
Okay, thank you, Ollie. I appreciate that.
That's no problem.
All right. Let me see. Somebody wanted me to check out GNT, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Also, maybe Dash as well.
All right.
Maybe the entire CoinMarketCap website list.
Yep. Let's just go from top to bottom. Yep.
Alphabetically.
I can't wait until you reach Insane Coin.
Did you guys see that YouTube video where the guy went through every coin on Polo by volume and did a technical analysis of all of them?
No, I have not.
Only the first part came out about 4 or 5 days ago, and the second part came out 2 days ago, I think. So it's really recent if you want to look at it.
Oh, you're talking about your good friend, are you? What's his name? Who's the guy that
was it Lumbridge?
Recently had a little to do with?
Was it Lumbridge City?
Yeah, Lumbridge.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna post the link to the videos in the Discord chat now, so you can all check it out.
I'm sure it was Lumbridge City.
GNT is looking really good. I can't lie. At least short term, we're coming for a little pump here. In my opinion, we're gonna go parabolic, come for a pullback, but it is coming into a price range that you can sell out of if you have an entry at a lower one. See, I have 2 entries right here, and they're in profit today. I'm just waiting for it to get to my target exit. I believe I went 30% on this one, so it's somewhere up here. I have to draw my thing here.
I believe we're still looking at some announcements from, well, no, I think with Golem, you got the new, they're still setting a lot of their service up. So I do think it will go up just even when there's more announcements on that, because it seems that they're still building the project out. So I think, again, that's one of the ones that will still do well, even in a bad time for alt. So I still think Golem's going to have
there are coins definitely that are undervalued right now. I think that's really important, is finding things that are undervalued, because they will obviously you can trade altcoins in Bitcoin rallies, and you can trade a downtrending market too. It really just depends on like trading style, trading plan, what works for you, and then developing something that works for you. But for me, the easiest thing to do is just to keep majority in Bitcoin. I don't even sell into, I've never sold into USD unless it's Bitcoin trading.
What's good?
Hey,
What's up, guys?
what's good?
Hello.
Potcoin.
Potcoin?
Hot coin.
Oh, I'm checking out Potcoin. We'll see what
I need to,
happens tomorrow.
I need to do Dash.
Dash, yeah, Dash is a big one.
Somebody requested Dash.
Up or down, up or down.
Up or down? Probably both, huh? Oh wow. I haven't looked at this chart in a minute. I stick to most of the charts I've been trading lately have been people pointing it out on the Discord to me. Just like, you know,
Oh, look at that.
I'm like, wow, I couldn't have found that.
Now you got eyes all over the place.
I know,
Decentralization.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. All right, yeah, this one was kind of crazy. Did you guys all? Did anybody catch my call on this coin? Did anybody watch the video when I pointed out this formation here and then I was telling people to go long right here?
No.
All right, I'll show you the tweet. This coin, I mean, it looks like it could have already turned around from its trend. In my opinion, I think it could go back up more. There's a lot of FUD around this market too, which is what I look for a good buy. A lot of FUD usually. That's when I bought the most Bitcoin I ever bought in my life was recently when there was tons of FUD.
I think everyone enjoyed the 14th of April FUD.
Yeah, on my Twitter, you guys can look through the media. I have a picture. I don't want to take too much time here, but I have a picture where I point out this rounded bottom formation and tell people to go long, so you could check that out. But yeah, this is looking pretty good, and it's still holding strong on support, so that's really important. It's important that it's following a support trend here. Currently, it is, let's see what's the lowest point in the market. Currently, it is priced at 0.0614460 Bitcoin. And it does look like it might come back for support on the 531, the 0531. But this does look like it, you know, a little longer term, you know, a month or two. Doesn't look too bad. So this one might be a safe one to put your money in during a Bitcoin rally. It kind of reminds me of the XMR breakout, and that did really well. I like how quick Dash is. It's pretty fast. I think it has a use case, and the company is doing a lot of advertising and stuff. It could last through a Bitcoin rally. So. All right, what was the other one you guys wanted me to check out? I remember there was one specifically.
A lot of people want
DCR? All right, yeah, this is, I'm holding this coin. Oh, yeah, I pointed this one out recently, huh?
Everyone on the YouTube chat wants PivX.
YouTube channel like 3-4 days ago.
Nice. Yeah, I'm holding 10. I've got 10 DCR right now. And
There's a really nice trend.
yeah, it is. It is. I actually pointed this coin out as a bullish move right here. Back in one of my Wednesday market roundups. If you guys want to go watch some of those, they've got some interesting information. A lot of these smaller breakouts, I talk about how these smaller breakouts work to prepare for something like this. But yeah, no, this is a very nice trend. What I was talking with Neighborly last night on the Discord, we had a little private channel. By the way, if you're VIPs, I can do private voice chats with you. I've been trying to get to know them better, so I can really, help them get to their trading increase. Because like a lot of it is it's just kind of hard to explain stuff to a ton of people at once. But I'm getting better at it. But that's why I have the personalized too, for people that want it. But yeah, this definitely looks like it's going exponential. It's got a low supply and it's got a high demand, and it's high in the market capitalization. We're number 14. It's at $14. There's only 4 million of them, and we're averaging at 2 million in volume. And so in theory, if the volume stays consistent, we're going to see a consistent trend on the upside. And I think that this is definitely a good one. I wouldn't, it just came up to resistance. I wouldn't exactly buy right now because it might pull back to support. But yeah, definitely a good looking coin, and I think it's going to go up on an exponential parabolic kind of shape here and then pull back. So, I'm thinking something
I'll just say that,
like that and pull back, but not that drastic.
I was just going to say that I think that really at the moment, the main things that people are looking for in crypto is the anonymous transactions. People are looking for scalability, and they're looking for good governance. I think really one of the main things that is obviously with the whole Bitcoin thing, people are looking at alts that solve these problems because they see them being worth more over time. Because they're going to start, if Bitcoin says, oh, that's a good idea, or something comes from an alt that seems good, then that alt is going to get definitely a decent boost because people are going to say, oh, that's where that feature came from. I think that's what happened with Zcash, seeing the features from Zcash going to Ethereum, and that gives Zcash, I think it's probably the other way, Zcash is probably there first, but where you see a good feature, I think other cryptocurrencies take that on, and that's where they're going to get that big boost. And I think those three main things you're looking for at the moment is anonymous transactions, scalability options, and governance as well, because that's one of the things about DCR that separates it from other ones, is that it's got proof of work and proof of stake. And that's something that I don't think some coins aren't considering, in that you can have a mixture of both of these technologies and maybe they both work to benefit each other.
Yeah. I think we're definitely gonna see a lot of move towards privacy, just because finances is a really personal thing. I'm drawing the line writer guy, but I'm not an artist, so it kind of looks like nothing to line writery. Do you know line writer? I'll have to show you a Google image now because context is everything.
It's quite rude to me.
This game was so fun. Yeah, I loved this game growing up. I played it all the time. It's probably why I can read charts.
It's funny because everyone is a line writer now.
Yeah.
Who would have thought it would come in handy in the future?
Yeah, who knew, right? Alright, so I could go over like one more coin or maybe a couple questions, either whatever you guys want to do here.
Your fans are going to go mad if
better?
you don't do pivots. Everyone is asking.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do it in tonight's market roundup, but I better do it now because the hype around that coin is unreal. Everybody's always, shout out to this guy in the Discord chat. Where is it? Oh, he's not online right now. There's a guy with a pretty funny chat name on the Discord chat. You'll have to see if you catch it sometimes. It's called Pussy Weed Pinks. Pivx. Somebody told me it was Pivx the other day, so. Say what? Did you say? Did I cut someone off?
No.
Okay, cool. It's Pivx, right? I mean, that's what they were telling me.
That's what I call it.
Yeah. I was
It's
just,
not
I
on
didn't know.
Polo, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet. They're making room for it.
Yeah, they're
I hope
making
so.
rumors for it. I mean, I don't know. I think it's gonna hop on. But yeah, no, this is definitely a nice exponential trend forming here. We're starting to break into another trend line, though I don't know if it will hold. Just because normally, I mean, that's a lot of pumping. Though I definitely think there's a lot of potential for this coin within the next few months, maybe. I don't know if it might just pump up right here and pull up even higher. That's a possibility considering it did catch a secondary support line here, but that really depends on whether it falls out of that or not. And so we'll see. It could. This one is a little bit different for me, I'm not gonna lie. That's interesting. A lot of my trading is literally just drawing lines. Alright, so drawing lines and logging information. So much logging. Percent change all the time. It's fun though. Alright, so yeah, no, we're riding this trend curve here pretty nice. So yeah, it could definitely push up from here. But again, it's pumped quite a lot, so it might pull back a little for a better entry. Though this entry isn't terrible, I will say it's not terrible for this trend. If you're a trend trader and you're looking to trade at higher lows, that's not a terrible higher low. So that's my thoughts on Pivx.
So do you think when it hits Polo, it's gonna explode even further?
Oh yeah. Well, it might be people might just be buying it on the rumor, and so it might get dumped when it hits Polo for a little bit, but just because of volume, it will go crazy right after. You know how coins like dump off right at the start on Polo sometimes? It might do that, but I think maybe even the same day it could go right back up because that much volume is ridiculous, you know.
Well, the fact that everyone's asking for Pivex is kind of quite interesting. It's everyone's asking for Pivex
here.
It's one of those things that, because everyone's asking about Pivex. Why is it that everyone's asking about Pivex? Is it because of anything that's actually going on in Pivex, or is it just because it just is going up and everyone sees it up all the time?
I think it's Dash hype because they're very correlated, and Pivex is just Dash 2.0. That's my theory. Currently.
I feel like most of the people that would get Pivx once it gets added to Polo already made an account on Bittrex if they didn't have one already and bought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be buying the rumor and then selling the news.
Yeah.
So be aware of that. That's why I'm saying be wary that it's gonna come up and go parabolic soon, some point. Do you know if anybody doesn't know what parabolic is? I'll show you a chart. Because
My favorite word.
This is what a parabolic chart looks like. This is when you can usually expect a pullback, so that you can find an entry, so that you can make more money. So yeah,
it's the parabola.
Yeah, it's when something comes up and exponentially grows up into a very smaller range. It's smaller and smaller until it's just pumping straight up all day long. It's just
I
going
bet you,
up.
if you looked at the floppy disk chart, it would look like that as well. Everyone started using it, and then something else came out, and then everyone stopped using it. And it's quite funny how in technology, everything follows that. Oh, no one's really interested. Then suddenly everyone's interested, and then suddenly something else comes out that's better, and it's not worth anything anymore.
Humans are quick to forget. Remember that.
I think it's getting quicker. I mean, I think it's getting quicker. You look at a lot of technologies that they used to last 100 years. Now then they went to lasting 50 years, then they last 10 years, and then they last 1 year. And how the rate of change is changing. Normally that would be over a long period of time,
pretty
but now
soon
it's
our
so
iPhone will
short.
pretty soon our iPhone will have self-updating hardware. Really though. That's because, like, why would we keep buying them if we're smart. Humanity's ridiculously smart, and so I mean, we're the only people we can judge that to, but we're the only relation. We only know ourselves, but yeah, no, we're really, really smart, and so I don't think that that's gonna be too much of an issue there. I think that we'll figure out a way to update stuff automatically so that we don't have to waste stuff. Yeah, this is looking so good. Bitcoin looks really good, guys. Be careful with alts. That's today's warning.
What do you think, Dylan, about the Bittrex? Obviously, the arbitrage opportunities, but with the withdrawal effects and Bitfinex being so high. I mean, I have quite a few dollars in Bitfinex, even though I call it Bitglinex. But it scares me really, knowing that I've been caught once with them with a dowel hack, and
oh, too bad.
Yeah, but it's something that I keep thinking, because the reason I've kept the dollars in there is waiting for this big drop, hopefully. When it'll come, I don't know, Bitcoin, but I'm just seriously thinking of just buying some alts with dollars and then just getting out of Bitfinex. I just don't trust it.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good news, haven't they?
I don't blame
think
you.
that it doesn't look for them.
I don't blame you. I would look for, like Kraken, I'm not sure. That I hear that is a really trusted exchange for that type of Bitcoin trading. For my Bitcoin trading, I either use Poloniex, or sometimes I'll do some margin on one broker or Magner. But
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for really is margin. With that's the only reason I'm really in Bitfinex is margin from the UK.
Yeah. There's a website. I don't know if you can use it in the UK. Let me see here. I'll drop the link in the live trading channel.
Just out of interest, who from the UK is actually in the chat right now?
I am.
Shout out UK.
Yeah, because I'm from the UK as well. So.
Yeah. Jojo.
Anybody ever compared the S&P 500 to Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I was the only one. It's good to know there's other crazy people in this world.
It's all the same stuff, isn't it, really? I mean, if you look at any of it, it's all so connected.
I think, well, the S&P is technology stocks, right? And it's an index of stocks in the technology and basically things that matter for Bitcoin. And so I like to look at it because there's correlations. I'll also look at the correlation between electricity companies' stocks, because miners. So, yeah.
The cool one was seeing gold parity, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was really, really cool. Are we coming back to gold parity?
I'm not sure.
Not yet. It's got at least, I think, another $100.
Okay.
It was. I know it was like about a month ago, maybe a month or two ago.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that much though, because the supply, the amount of it's like weighted in the gold ounce, and the amount of Bitcoins is different. So it's still got the entire worth of gold versus the market cap of Bitcoin. It's still got a big way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like saying, you know, because
Good thing
Dash
to
is
know.
worth $70 and Bitcoin isn't, you know, or Litecoin's only worth $10. They're
Yep.
different supply amount.
Market capitalization is what's important because that's how much money is inside of a blockchain. So it's like, how much money total could anybody ever transfer in Bitcoin? Well, not any more than its total market cap, because they would have to own, it's like half of the,
Yeah.
well, it'd be like somebody could hold like everything but one Satoshi.
And as soon as they start transferring it out, the market cap's going to go down. So
Yep, exactly. Nobody wants it then. You can't get that. That's why Bitcoin is so stable, right? Is because it has demand and it is scarce. It's hard to get Bitcoin. Like, it's even hard just to sign up for a website to use your debit card. Like, it's Coinbase has a whole bunch of problems, and right now it's hard to get into this. It's easy. It's easier than any other type of trading to get into it, but there is still like a lot of hurdles to get Bitcoin. Compared, I mean, think of like, I'm talking on a scale of like Bitcoin in like my mom's home. Like, she would not know how to get Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
yeah, but at some point, I think you look at like Internet of Things. I think you're going to see so many. The old system is going to just look so out of date, and it's not going to work with the next wave of technology, that people are just going to go, yeah, this stuff doesn't work anymore. And I think that's what a lot of people have realized already. It's just that when the actual practical implications of it, when things actually start needing to use it because it's actually better, that's where people are going to start going to it. And things like business, that's where I think where things really come out. When business starts to use it as an advantage, that's where people start using it, because businesses are always looking for that extra advantage, and if it's cryptocurrency, then they're going to go and use it.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
And that's why a lot of people think,
any other questions or statements? Sorry.
That's okay. I'm just going to say that people think that it's just going to be the everyday man that's going to start accepting it. But I think at first it's going to be corporations or businesses that are the ones that push it.
Yeah,
but on the same point,
I definitely agree.
Sorry. My thing was, if Bitcoin's is going to be the main gateway now, and you have Ethereum, but would it be Ethereum be the most interesting for the fact that their whole business model at this point is the cash infusion from big companies investing heavily into it, that's going to bring your wealth to it?
I think the most important thing at the end of the day is what the majority uses. The majority uses Bitcoin. And until that changes, and like, yes, Ethereum's getting in the news, there's a clear downtrend in market capitalization of Bitcoin, but I think Bitcoin is ready for a very, very big, might be its last pump. I highly, highly doubt that, but it's coming for a pretty nice pump, and it will affect market capitalizations of altcoins temporarily. And from a more like standpoint of whether people will adapt it, they're gonna adapt Bitcoin first because it's the gateway, right? So until that changes, until anybody can buy anything with fiat, until you can buy anything with fiat and the altcoins people want more, those are really the factors involved. If people want altcoins more and they can buy it without buying Bitcoin first, then Bitcoin will be affected in value by that, and more people will start using alts. And that's kind of what's happening, but it's going to be a long journey. There's going to be a lot of crazy things go on. There's going to be unexpected things. There's going to be DAO hacks, like stuff like that. It's going to happen, and that's just the name of the game. Like, we're all here to learn and try and get what we can from it. And I think that long term, this technology will do nothing but help everybody in humanity. And that's really why I like to do what I do, is I feel like I'm, being good and helping the world in an important way.
Yeah.
I agree with the Bitcoin aspect, but one of the things that I don't know if it's going to affect is that we're getting to a point where Bitcoin is going to have a point where the transaction level, the cost level is going to be so high that unless they evolve the platform, I feel like there's a major drawback to it at a certain point.
Yeah, but I mean, Bitcoin you used to be able to dupe Bitcoins. Like, there's been huge updates in Bitcoin, and look where it's at now.
No, I
Track
agree
record
about
is
that.
what matters. And if
But
we're
doing,
willing to update Bitcoin, we're totally gonna. And who
but isn't
isn't
it like
willing to
SegWit for
update it?
Bitcoin is 95% of the mining community?
SegWit?
Yeah, to
I
upgrade to
don't
the
know what
Lightning Network on Bitcoin, I'm almost positive it's 95% approval from.
Yeah, it's
everyone.
95%. 95%. Everyone has to signal for SegWit to activate. 75% in Litecoin though.
So that's why the big thing with Ethereum was that their network's already 10 times faster and all that, and they're banking on the fact that the transaction level's quicker, the monetary advantage is there with the smart contracts, but Bitcoin doesn't have it. But Bitcoin's first to market with the proven network, with a proven growth factor, where Ethereum's just seen it now.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. And I agree with you that Ethereum has a lot of potential and will keep going up, and unless they do something ridiculous. It's here to stay. It's a blockchain. People run nodes and mine. It's like, where is it going to go? So that's why Ethereum Classic's still here, right?
No, I
So
find that interesting, but the funny part isn't a lot of the altcoins, I could be wrong about this, that a lot of them take the Ethereum platform now, and like I'm almost figure that Golem is, Algorithms are adaptations off Ether or Ethereum.
They're
Oh
built
yeah,
on
so
the
there's a
Ethernet.
value stack, right? They're building on that blockchain, and so any value invested in that cryptocurrency, that company that runs that cryptocurrency, is technically it's value stacked on the Ethereum network.
I
And
would
so
say
it will grow, and it will grow a lot. I think Ethereum is a great investment. It's on my long-term investments list, and I own Ethereum, and I think it's definitely a great project. But I'm speaking of more terms in the next little while, so that people don't get screwed over by Bitcoin pump, right? Because
Gotcha.
though I think long term those things will happen, people, you can buy Ethereum with Coinbase, so people will start to move towards stuff like that. But it's like a language money is basically like a language, and it's going to evolve like one too.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no, I agree with your point. Thank you. Okay. Any questions or anything? I gotta get to making the Wednesday market roundups, so I
Just
need
maybe
to
go and
get
check
to
back in with
recording.
the XBC. Go and see what happened to it in the last.
Since we looked at it,
Yeah, just go and have a recap. It's a nice. On the 30-minute chart.
30-minute. Okay.
Put your MACD on as well on the 30-minute.
30 minutes.
I bet everybody
Is there a quick way to clear drawing tools without right-clicking and then remove all drawing tools?
I usually just refresh.
Refresh. Where's that? Okay, let's see. Oh wow. Yeah, nice.
That was easy.
Yeah, nice. Indicators, MACD. You wanted me to put the MACD on it too, you said?
Yeah, MACD on the 30-minute chart. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, it looks like it's just pulling through. We might have a MACD cross through of these lines through the center. So basically the idea is these two lines cross through the center point of the MACD. For anybody that doesn't know, then the idea behind that indicator is that is a possible buy signal, is these two lines crossing through the center line of the histogram, it's called. That's what this purple looking like mountainous wave oscillating thing is.
And the blue line's gone over the orange line as well.
Yep,
Really
blue
important.
over the orange. So, which happened right here. Yeah, no, this looks pretty good, I have to say. Looks like it's gonna go up from here, so nice bull run here. We're having some pumping as we speak. Good deal. Yeah. Hey, thanks for pointing pointing that out for me. Anybody have anything else before we end today's live stream and live voice chat? It was a pretty crazy idea. I mean, I just literally thought of it after drinking my cup of coffee this morning. I was like, you know, I'm in a hotel, like I'm I'm bored. I have my computer desktop set up. I've got a bunch of emails to reply to, but I need to do something for the Discord today.
What do you think? What do you think about Digibyte?
Digibyte?
Yeah.
I can drop you a chart afterwards in the.
Okay.
Are you in the Discord?
Yeah, I'm in the Discord.
Obviously. But yeah, no. Just DM me and I'll drop a chart for you.
All right, thanks.
There's
Yeah,
one
no
thing
problem.
I'd really wish is the fact that we could get more sleep and we could have normal trading hours.
I made a nootropics text channel. I
More
mean, I don't
time for
know.
lucid dreaming.
Yeah, it's the first thing I think about when I wake up. Oh, what's the price of Bitcoin? What's the price of this?
Yeah, me too, honestly.
Sad.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's fun. I don't think it's sad. I think it's pretty fun. Especially if you're making money doing it. I mean, hey, if we make enough money, then we could just sleep all day. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I like trading too much not to.
My friends
Right
think
on, yeah.
Oh, I think the people that make money out of crypto I think a lot of people are going to use it to do a lot of really good things. I hope so.
Oh
anyway.
yeah, definitely.
I
It's
I
a
think
lot
there's going to be a
smart,
lot of money
good
going to
people
people's
behind
pockets
it.
that really need it to do that next step thing, and that's what
Yeah,
I'm bullish
even
on.
like you guys, like, you know, VIP signups right now. Like, I am so happy that I did this YouTube channel because, like, I can survive right now. You know, like I don't even like I recently got kicked out of my parents' house, so there, you know, just because like I'm almost 20 years old and I trade cryptocurrency all day in my room and talk about how much money I'm making. So, you know, they're like, all right, you're ready for the world. So I'm just like,
They're jealous.
I'm living off of YouTube and trading, and that, like, I'm happy, you know. I just got kicked out. Most people might be really scared. Initially, I was a little scared, but like I'm legitimately happy, and I feel like I have purpose, and you guys really helped give that to me. So thank you.
Oh, welcome. You deserve it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You guys deserve much profit, so that's what I'm going for. Help you guys get that.
Best thing to do is make a good situation out of a bad situation. You've definitely done that very well.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I figured when I got on YouTube when I was first into this, I was like, there is nothing for how to do this. Like, somebody needs that guy. Why not me? So that's where I'm at now. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate everybody that hopped on the voice chat and everybody that talked about ideas they have. And, you know, I feel like we had a really great philosophical and logical conversation about the world of cryptocurrency, because it's pretty cool. It's probably the most exciting financial thing going on Earth right now. And it's bigger than just finances too. So yeah, great things here. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Huge shout out to the Discord in general. You know, you guys can get the links for that in the description of this video, since this will be uploaded live later on YouTube, and this was recorded live. And yeah, I think we should probably do this again sometime. Maybe we could have, I don't know I'm gonna have to think through some different things, make sure we have a system for doing this. But I bet you this worked pretty good, so I think we can do this, and it will help the whole community a lot. So yeah, thank you guys all for tuning in to today's episode, and yeah, I'll see you like 6 hours from now in my Wednesday market roundup. Anyways, stay profitable, everyone, and I'll talk with you later.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
bye.